Hello, my name is Hao Yu Li, and this is my student ID and my student email. And this is the lab 1 report video. At part 1, we just download the VirtualBox and do some setting about the install the Ubuntu. And first, we need to I do some setting about uh, how to install uh, the Ubuntu in the VirtualBox, and this is configuration. And first, I try to set the memory is 8 gigabit, but I think is kind of small for the in my lab, and then I reset it into the 20 gigabits, and I think it's okay. And after I log into the Ubuntu and uh, do some installation like GCC, G++, and some basic configuration. And then I do some setting about the which box the guest edition for the following lab, and according to the PDF, and we changed the root password, and also some setting about the SSH, and yes, and I want to remind that first of all, I used the version of Ubuntu is 18, and I think my first use of the version of Ubuntu is 22, and I think it's too new for the lab, and then uh, because I can't find the Korga in the part 2, and then I reset the version of Ubuntu into 18, and I think it's work. And in the part 2, basically we just install the Quagga and do some configuration of our virtual machine, and then we create an internal network. And the first I install the Quagga, and you can see it's successful. Yeah, and I verify the Quagga installation, and then I create an internal network. It's basically uh, one router and connected separately with two PC. And I use the clone of in VirtualBox to set to clone PC1 and PC2. And this setup of the router 1 network uh, basically is sets two interface of the router uh, and assign each of them with the IP address. Yes, you can see the IP address of uh, the interfaces in my router is 192.168.1.254, and this 1 2 and this is 2.254. And this setting about the PC1 networks, and it basically just assign the host name and the IP address which can connect it to the interface of the router. And you can see it, the IP address of my PC1 is 192.168 and 1.1. And the same is the PC2 networks. You can see it, the IP address of PC2 is 192.168.2.1. And after like that, we can pin the two PC together, and I can show you the. This is PC1. 1.2.1. Yes, we can see that there is some feedback from the PC2. And on the other hand, we use PC2 to pin the PC1. 192.168.1. Yes, we can see it's successful. Yeah. On the part 3, we used this one to instead of route 1 to connect the PC1 with the PC2, and it basically download the latest. I download the latest one, and also do some configuration between the PC1 and the PC2. And actually, you need to set two internet in the VYOS, and you assign then the IP address of the interface you connected to PC1 and PC2, and also you need to assign their name. And after setting like that, we can test our configuration by traceroute, and we can try it. One 192.168.1.1. Yes, we can receive the feedback. Okay, well, I think it is successful. And on the other hand, it's quite similar with like the PC1 traceroute to PC2. In the part 4, I think is the most I think is the most challenging one for us to to be familiar with the network. And basically, in the first we need to set up the establish the TCP connection between the server and the client. Basically, we use the PC1 to be like a server, and use PC2 to be a client, but try to establish the connection, the TCP connection with server. And I And we try to uh, boot up our server, and I assigned the port is 198, and I think it's already boot up. And try to use the client to establish the TCP connection to the server. And first we need to know the server's IP address and assign the port number. Yes, port number is 198, and I think it is successful. And then we send message. And on the server side, here is the message we already received. And this for the first step of part 4. And you can see the message. And first we need to in the code we need to we use a while loop of the server side, try to implement the server can connect with multiple client. Try to connect with multiple client, and we can try like that. So 299, and on the client side 299. Yes, it's successful, and we try to use another client. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. We need to boot up the second. Oh, it's a comparison. You can see when we use the first server, first coding, first version of server to use the multiple client to connect the server, and it will cannot the connection refuse. And now we use the second one. Oh, we change another port number. EVA. Use client. It is successful. It's also successful. Which means we can use multiple clients to connect a constantly running server. So this is the difference between the step 1 and step 2 server. But on the contrary, we may have some problem with the TCP. Is a zombie problem. We try to use this one. We can see all like this process is zombie process in our PC. So we need to use UDP to connect with the server and the client. Basically, it's not using connection. It's just send some message with the